Hi, lovely, and welcome to More Than the Glass, a space for honest conversations about motherhood, alcohol, identity, and reconnecting with yourself. I'm Karen.
I'm Gillian.
Wherever you are on your journey, you're so very welcome here because we deserve more. So, today we are going to talk about the fact that if you already know that something feels off, what exactly are you waiting for? So, this episode explores intuition, self trust, emotional numbing, and the exhausting cycle of knowing something doesn't feel quite right whilst you're continuing to override that inner voice.
It is an inner voice, isn't it? It's sometimes subtle, and other times it's like screaming at you.
Yeah.
And but I think it's just interesting. I know we spoke a couple of episodes ago about how it's okay to know something's not right and still be really, really scared. And we kind of at that point said it's okay to sit there. Like it's okay to sit there. But I suppose this episode is like saying only for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what are you waiting on?
Completely.
Because we don't sit and question something that feels aligned. Like we don't sit and question something that we know is right or good. That you go with
Go
that.
with it. You go all in.
You don't keep thinking about something that is nourishing. You don't Google stuff that isn't right for you. And it matters to know it, the questioning itself is enough. It's enough to know that that's enough to make you really think about change. And to me, it's like your intuition is trying to get your attention.
It is. And you're just
As,
ignoring it and shutting it down, blocking it out. Yeah, not listening to your own voice.
that's what it is. It's your own wee voice. And I know we need to be clear, like sometimes that voice is incessant and can be really critical. Like the voice isn't always your friend, but usually when it's telling you something over and over again, it's because something needs addressed. Now, whether that's the way you're talking to yourself, whether that's the things that you're doing to yourself, if it's constant, irrespective of the volume, it's usually because something isn't right. As I said, like my voice isn't telling me when I'm at the gym, you really shouldn't have done this today.
No, exactly. No,
Like,
it's not. Or when you're eating a healthy, healthy snack, do you know what I
no,
mean? It's not going, oh, I don't think you should be doing this.
no.
Yeah.
And when I've got myself ready for a night out and I look good, like my voice isn't always on. I'm going, wow, we've got it tonight, Gillian. It's usually when there's
Yes.
something underneath, something just doesn't feel right. And that's the thing that is our internal, it is trying desperately to get a hold of us, to get our attention, to get us to listen, to do something.
It really is like desperate, desperate to get attention. And I think at that point, like, what exactly are you waiting for? Why are you continually like ignoring it? It's almost like, are we waiting for permission? Like, do we feel like we have to um, give that authority to an external person or agency? Like, are we not confident or not happy to listen to our own voice? Are we like waiting for someone else to tell us what to do? Do you respect someone else's thoughts, opinions more than your own? Are you waiting for a dramatic rock bottom? Because that doesn't always happen, and that's not always necessary either. Like, you don't have to reach catastrophe crisis point to make a change. Like, again, we've spoken about this, like, you don't have to be at that point of your whole life falling apart for that change to be warranted, to be needed.
But equally, the other side of that scale, Karen, is if you've already started questioning something, it is not all of a sudden going to become better without something happening.
Exactly. And I think, and again, we've spoken about this before. You're waiting for it to become bad enough. What is bad enough? Like, you do you, I don't know, do you have to be literally like screamed at to take that action? You already know that there's something fundamentally not right. So are you waiting for someone to come over and like tap you on the shoulder, scream in your face, just say, look, right, now is the time. It is time now to make that change. Is that what you're waiting for? Because
I feel as if there was, I don't know, see, personally, I feel like I was just waiting on somebody just jumping out a bush, or like a genie in a bottle being now is
shaking you.
now is the time. Or equally someone going, it's fine, don't worry about it, just keep on. Now, either of those voices is not the truth, right? Because we've already talked about how generally in society everybody laughs off, oh, you were dead funny, or don't worry about it. Don't, like, people play it down. But if you're waiting on the other person telling you you need to do this, then it's like, that is a really shitty place to be. Like, why are you waiting on that happening before you make a change? Why are you waiting on that? Getting to that point where somebody says something that you're not going to like, that they're not going to like saying either. Like, what is the event or the nudge or the bolt of lightning? Like, it's a really horrible place to be sitting in. And personally, my only regret is not doing it sooner.
I completely agree. Yeah.
It genuinely is. Like, once I'd nailed it, once I'd got comfortable in like my alcohol-free skin, I was like, oh my God, I just wish I had done this sooner. Like, the peace that I would have given myself then, all those years ago, instead of that stopping and starting, instead of those rules that I'd made with myself that I always broke, instead of the cycles on repeat, because it was so draining, all that stuff. Like, if I had just listened to myself when that wee voice started, I could have saved myself years of to and froing and backing and forth. Like, I remember actually, so I've said to you before, like, I first started trying to stop drinking like 3 years before this time.
Yeah.
But then I remember doing an Instagram live with somebody years ago now. And just through that conversation, I started talking about when I first started not getting wine in with my weekly shop. That was a long time ago. So I had consciously said to myself, stop buying wine with the weekly shop and only get it when you when you want to drink.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So those rules started even years and years before. I remember actually getting quite emotional when I was talking to this woman on Instagram, because that's the, like, see, when you start putting all your dots together, you
Oh my
sometimes go,
goodness. Yeah.
it's like, that was a long, long time ago. So I
Yeah.
obviously knew there was something not right all the way back then. I obviously knew I was drinking too much. Why did I wait until, I'm talking, I had moved house, I had got married, I had had a kid, and then I had started trying to stop drinking, which took 3 years before it stuck. How long of my life have I spent thinking about not drinking, Karen?
Honestly, I couldn't agree more. Really, like, similar for me as well. Years and years and years. And I mean, and like decades, actually, I think, when you go back and yeah, for me, like 2012, again, like, both Chris and I had like a major shift in our drinking patterns and that kind of thing, because again, it was literally, you know, every Friday, every Saturday, that was part of our, like, our shopping and everything, and we would always like drink the bottles of wine and stuff, and it was like years and years and years in the making, like, and yet you just ignore it, shut it down. And it's not just the voice, it's like the gut as well, isn't it? Like, you know it in your gut. So yeah, it's not just in your head, it's, well, your heart and your gut as well, isn't it? And you're ignoring all of that intuition within your own body and surrendering that to external forces, that power, rather than actually, I don't know, acknowledging that you might actually know best. Frightening. And I think there's a really important psychological point here as well, because every time you ignore that inner voice, that inner knowing, you weaken self-trust. Disconnection to yourself, your own alignment, your own, like, grounding grows, because more and more you're just ignoring yourself. You stop believing in yourself, and you are effectively, you're overriding your own needs. What you need, you are, yeah, you're just overriding it with potentially others' opinions, other thoughts, external validation, and you're not actually living authentically and truly to what you need. And the longer that you ignore yourself, the more you listen externally, the harder it becomes to hear yourself clearly, because you've shut that part of you down for so long.
You literally chip away at yourself.
You do?
And if I just, like, now, I want to go back and give that version a Gillian a cuddle, because it was just, I just was like letting go, not in a good way, not in a surrender way. I was like letting go, riding. I was literally telling myself to shut the F up.
Yeah.
Every time you done it.
Yeah. Who do you think you are? like what do you think you know? Like, it's no wonder there were the low confidence issues, the low self-worth issues.
It's damaging, Karen. It is actually damaging. Every time you tell yourself what you want, and let's face it, what you need to do,
Yeah.
and then every time you go ahead and ignore that, it just knocks a wee bit more, not in a big dramatic way,
No.
slowly but surely, you knock away at your own trust and your own esteem and your own confidence, because you are doing what you know you need to change in order to be the better version of you and the better mum to your kids, because that's what we are. We're alcohol-free mums, and it was rooted I will always say you need to do this for yourself, right? But we're ultimately doing it as mums here.
Yep.
And every time I was like ignoring what I needed, I was ignoring what he needed. And then that just goes round and round and round.
Yep.
Instead of just trusting myself and
Mm-hmm.
listening to that inner knowing.
Yeah. Such a spiral, isn't it? Like such a spiral. And again, you've got to think about this. This is not something that happens once in a blue moon. It chips away. It could be chipping away at you daily, weekly, monthly, whatever. But that compounded impact over weeks, months, years is massive. Absolutely massive. And it's your life. Like your body, your mind is telling you something and you're trying to shut that down.
I know, I can't believe how long I was doing that for.
And
Like,
when yeah,
because I think subconsciously we're doing it for a wee while before we notice it, right?
yeah,
And then we
absolutely.
start to notice it and you maybe make the rules. And then a particular rule, whether that's not not buying it with the weekly shop, not drinking during the week, not moving on to vodka after the white, like all of that. And then you just you dance around with all this other BS as a way of accommodating the voice, accommodating the noise, but not fully giving into it. That's what you kind of feel. I just, honest to God, I wish I could go back and see her, see
No,
that version of Gillian and be like, I done it, you were right. Like, give her a cuddle,
yeah,
like, punch the air with her and say we eventually got there, because I was damaging that version of me every time I ignored myself.
it's. I don't think it's too dramatic to say it's a form of self harm. I really truly believe that putting yourself down, ignoring like those needs, those wants, it is you are, yeah, you are harming yourself, and it takes time to repair that and come through that, you know.
And
Um,
it then feeds into why you want to drink, because you feel
yeah,
so bloody awful about yourself.
exactly. The shame, like the self-loathing from my respect. Like I really, at times, I really, really did not like myself at all, and I had to work really, really hard on repairing that. And I wouldn't even say now, all these years on, that I'm like fully there. I still have, moments of that, yeah, self-loathing and whatever else. But my God, am I in a lot better place now? Now I actually listen to myself and I trust myself, trust my own judgment.
I think it's not. It's quite a difficult balance. I think when you're in it, right? I think it's actually quite difficult to see it and to understand it, because it is now only with that level of distance I can appreciate what I was doing, because when you're drinking, you are numbing like so much stuff. Um, both when you're actually drinking, but also those days that you're hungover and you're tired and you're like just living a life that's to get you through to the next
Yeah.
weekend or the next time that you're going to like the next day off, the next whenever your routine is, right? Everything is dulled, right? So you do it to dull the stress, you do it to dull the discomfort, you do it to dull the anger for that day, whatever it is, right? So when you dull all that, um you also dull the joy and the celebration and stuff like that. So when you're in that life where things are just a bit numbed, it's hard to sit here and listen to conversations about intuition. Like, I didn't know what intuition was when I was drinking, Karen. Like, I didn't know what that gut feeling was when I was drinking. Like, I just thought it was this really shitty voice that kept on talking to me. Like, I wasn't thinking about it So maybe when we are talking like this, people think it's about woo-woo, it's about spiritual,
Yeah,
like
very possibly.
self-trust. Like, so it's hard, I guess, to fully understand the conversation when you're still stuck in it. Looking back now, where I am now, I can say that was my intuition that was trying to tell me that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, in when you're still when you're in a life where things are numbed, the idea of trusting yourself sounds a bit too radical, impossible, even because these really deeply connected emotions aren't things that you're able to feel properly. You're not opened up to that possibility. So I don't mean this to sound like patronising. I don't mean that to
No,
sound
no.
patronising. I'm sure there are women out there who do enjoy a drink and who still feel very in tuned to their wants and their needs and their feelings. But it was a million miles off the conversations I was having back then.
Yeah, yeah. And that wasn't us. You know,
Everything was
that was,
just so.
yeah, that wasn't our experience, you know. And I think, and again, with the benefit of hindsight and being able to look back at that and the way that we treated ourselves, the way that we talked to ourselves, yeah. And alcohol just, yeah, added to that.
It just numbed that feeling for that moment until it arose again. And then you were like, oh, you had another drink.
There you
Oh,
go.
just shut it up, dull it
Yeah,
down, numb it until it arises again.
yeah,
And then that's where it goes to what you were saying, gently numbing it away and gently destroying that connection with self and trust, which then makes you actually more inclined to have a drink anyway. So
yeah.
why?
Why? No one is going to come and save us, right? Like, if you're waiting for the perfect moment as well, like, again, it goes back to those rules, doesn't it? You know, I'll do it on a Monday, I'll do it on the first of the month, you know, just stop. Do it now.
I know, see if somebody was coming to save us, I've got a list of things that I need saving from. Do you know what I mean? And back then, alcohol was definitely top of them. But there's 101 things that nobody's, not mums, nobody's coming to save mums. The stuff that women can carry and the stuff that women can do that they should have put down years ago is quite astounding, actually. But in terms of your alcohol use, if you've spent years numbing your own emotions, like listening to yourself, I know can sound scary. I know it can sound radical, it can sound spiritual or whatever, but please, please don't wait. Don't wait any longer. It is by far my biggest regret about not like this alcohol free story that I've got now is that, my God, I just wish I'd done it soon. I
Could
really
not
do.
agree more.
Okay, well, I think we will leave it there today. Thank you so much for listening. We hope that today's episode you can leave feeling seen and supported and reminded that you don't need to do this alone. If anything in this episode has resonated with you, like if you wonder what more could look like please come and join us on more. And all the details of that can be found at our circle. But until next time, please take gentle care of yourself because we deserve more.